What's going on, y'all? KM Best here. Let's talk about the deck that might be the best deck in the game, the Meta Tyrant, the Fun Ruiner, Leech Blink. This is the version of the list that I have been playing. I believe there is some debate over the 2-drop slot. That's the thing that I'm specifically trying to figure out. I ended up going with Quake. The base thing that this deck is trying to do, however, is just very simply very good 4 into Blink into very good 6. This is an extremely powerful thing to do. Leech, of course, an excellent anti-reactive card, by which I mean there are many decks that are looking to rely on things like Shang-Chi, looking to rely on other on-reveals to take over the game at the last minute, including Marvel Snap's most recent card, Sage, who we might get to in a future video, suffice to say. Not very impressed. Leech, excellent against the metagame right now, from Hela to Shang-Chi, and of course converting Leech into something that is much larger is an excellent thing to do with the card Blink. Now, one card that might not be so obvious here is the inclusion of Claw. Claw is a card that I think is severely underrated. This is a card that, when a lot of people are playing Professor X things, is outstanding. Just on stats alone, it is a 5/12 now. It does dictate where you are able to play the cards you want to flip, because you want to make sure you're getting the value out of that Claw, so you're not really Jubileeing on the right lane very much, because there's no real point. Either the Jubilee could pull Claw, or like you blink into Claw. You're very much sticking to the other two lanes, but his ability to split power is absolutely excellent. The other thing that sticks out about this deck is the lack of Dr. Doom. Now, this can have upsides and downsides. The one thing I noticed when playing this list was you really feel it when you don't have a 1 or a 2-drop, and so I wanted to use that slot on an extra 2-drop. We'll get to the specifics of that later, but the other thing I noticed is when this deck has bad draws, they are extra bad. Because not only is your hand full of unplayable 5s and 6s, you usually, because your hand is unplayable 5s and 6s, can't even blink or Jubilee profitably. So this is a deck where a lot of the power can be indicated by the opening hand, and I think that's a dynamic that really sets it apart. When you have certain scenarios where you're about 80% to make sure that you don't draw a card. That happens a lot when you're going into like turn 5. You need to have there's one card you can actually hit if you blink a Jubilee. That's a very common thing, and it makes snapping with this deck fairly difficult, because the objectively correct thing to do is snap and take the 80%er, but it really feels bad when you end up drawing that Red Hulk or drawing that Magneto. So I understand why people would want that extra 6-drop in there. However, I have found far more success just curving out. Let's start with Nebula. Now, this deck's early game is severely lacking, to the point that other people have replaced all the early game with literally Domino. I'm not even that opposed to it because of how awkward the early game is in a deck like this. Nebula is a good card. You can use things that this deck can do well in order to make sure that, in a world where you get her on a location that ends up being hard to play on, that she can actually win that location. She gets good backup in the form of Jeff and Nocturne. This is the kind of card that you run, but it's not like an all-star. It's okay, this is fine, but you're running it because what else are you going to do? It's very hard for a deck like this to play a lot of the good early games in Marvel Snap. You can't really be an Angela deck, because if you are, you have to be a Hope deck, and then if you're a Hope deck, it's okay, well, I can't really do what I want to do unless I draw Hope, and then you're just kind of out the window. You don't have a lot of options for early good cards in a deck like this, and you really run up against that. Nebula is the best of those options. I don't even know what 1-drop could possibly replace her, because there's just kind of nothing in that vein. There's nothing even close that this deck can actually afford to play. White Widow is a sort of consequence of this. When you're going through the list of just 2s and 1s you can play in a deck like this, it is an exceedingly short list. You think about playing something like Lizard, and then you're like, oh man, there's just a ton of people playing Ultron right now, so what am I really doing if I'm playing Lizard? Am I seriously counting on that? You're like, okay, I'll play Maximus and then just leech him, but like, let's be honest, if you are drawing your opponent 2 cards, it kind of doesn't matter if they're going to get leeched or not, they're going to win the game because you drew them 2 cards. They're seeing every card in their deck, unless they are just dead to leech, which nobody is at this point. You're actually just drawing them 2 cards, and that's terrible. And so you end up in this situation where like what you really want out of a 2-drop is just like stats. You just want some stats. Like that's really what's happening with White Widow here. Yeah, you're gonna clog sometimes, like that's cool. You put her in like the Nebula lane, it's sick. You get effectively 2 extra power on the Nebula. It's super dope, right? But really she's just like a lizard that has a little bit more upside. That's really what's going on here. And she's just good enough that you're like, you know what? Fine. It's gonna be fine. I'll play this instead of Lizard. It's better. Jeff is the 1/2 drop in this deck that we have absolutely no problems with. He's amazing everywhere, and he's also amazing here. There's basically no reason to not play Jeff here, especially because we are so hard up for good 2-drops. Jeff is easily the best of the 2s and is a card we would run like 3 of if we could. So this is not a great Quake deck. Let's start there, right? Like the Quake here is cool. I like it. But it is a consequence of the fact that we have absolutely no other attractive 2s. And so you end up in this scenario where it's like, look, this card, not a very attractive 2, but it can be a 2/3 on curve, and you're gonna do it. Like, you're gonna play a Shocker a decent amount of the time. Like, that's kind of the range we're in, unfortunately, when looking at 2-drops. That also sometimes will scam games late. Now, I don't think you need to tunnel vision on the Quake, though. That's kind of the thing. You need to say, like, when this card is actually being something good, it's gonna be like on the Nexus or Baxter building, things like that, or like swapping a kiln around. It can do cool stuff. But because you're so heavy on 6-drops, you're very often in a situation where you have to choose between playing this and a 6-drop on the final turn of the game, and that's just awful, right? That's just a choice you don't want to give yourself. So when I say this isn't a good Quake deck, it's not that she's not good in the deck. She's good. She's like a solid Shocker with upside, and that's really all you want out of that. But she is not gonna be like, you're not playing her on 6 a lot. Like, there's a lot of games where you're just like, I'm gonna see if I can get some small value out of this Quake, like moving a Murder World around or flipping the location like Eternity Range. Just you're using her for very small advantages rather than for the large advantages. Because you are a deck that is so top heavy, you're almost never gonna be able to fit her in if you get greedy with it. Red Guardian is a good card, but I think far from irreplaceable here. I think it's very easy to look at the Red Guardian and Nocturne slots and just be like, oh, that's Polaris Gladiator. And yeah, it totally is, right? In all of those decks that were playing Gladiator, they're now playing Red Guardian and Nocturne. And I think Red Guardian and Nocturne are better, but not like prohibitively so. Polaris even actually has legitimate upside when you're like a Nebula White Widow type deck. Like, you could argue that it's actually just a better card than either Red Guardian or Nocturne. I think of the 2, Polaris and Gladiator, Polaris is the one I'm like far more interested in if I were looking for only 1 replacement. If I were looking for 2, then we'd be talking about Polaris Gladiator. Really what's happening here is these are just good slot 3-drops. There's nothing really you need to read into that. Obviously, I think these 2 are the best ones. I wouldn't be doing this otherwise, but I don't think they should prevent you from playing the deck if you don't have them. There's an interesting thing that Nocturne does give you, though, and like there's just some cool Quake stuff she lets you do, where it's like, yeah, Quake and Nocturne together give you a very unique, like Legion-like feel of control over locations, where between the 2 of them, you're usually gonna be able to pull off something pretty dumb if you feel the need to do so. But I think generally, the reason Nocturne is in here is she is such an amazing card to play on turn 3. A 3/5 where you can move anywhere later. You go Nocturne, Jubilee, Blink, 6-drop. That can win a lot of games. Just straight up, that can win a lot of games. Nocturne, Leech, Blink, 6-drop. That can also win a lot of games. Like, that is your bread and butter there. 2 into Nocturne, into all that stuff. That's kind of the only thing you want to do. Nocturne is just your best 3. She's excellent, outstanding, very, very good. And because she moves around, she's just always going to be a little bit more useful, in my mind, than basically anything comparable. If you had to choose between her and Red Guardian, I would choose her. Jubilee has been a very good card in Blink lists, basically since Blink came out. And I think there is No reason to expect that to change. One thing that you do have to think about with Jubilee, and one thing that Blink does give you as well, is like, you have some effective actual card draw in this deck. Not literal card draw, but like deck thinning. And so you end up in situations where it's like, all right, I'm gonna Jubilee here, but if I pull the thing I want to Blink, I'm kind of screwed. There's a lot of these sort of like inbuilt traps that you have to think of when there's like a situation where you have 1 6-drop in the deck and your 5 drops are in your hand and you're like, I guess I'm gonna Jubilee and I really hope I don't hit the thing I'm gonna Blink into. Because of the way Blink works, you have to take risks like that. Leech's power is fairly obvious, although I do think it's a little bit overstated. It does feel like this is a good card against people who actually want to play on reveals, but a lot of people are starting to really adapt. And by that I mean they are playing things that are not getting blanked by Leech. One of the major adaptations people can make to decks like this is just playing Loki, which is just kind of unfair when you are doing like a fair mid-range thing. I think the Leech stuff sort of cements this as a deck that is like the fair mid-range deck of the format, right? Like this is, you know, the old Dark Hawk deck with Zabu. That's what this is now. This is Silky Smooth. This is, it's that. That's what this is. This is the fair mid-range deck of the format. It does some strong stuff. It has some good interaction, and its interaction is mostly stopping you from doing stuff, which is why I made the Darkhawk comparison. It's a lot like that. In addition, similar to like Zabu Darkhawk, it's very sort of dependent on drawing the right stuff. You have a lot of brick hands and a lot of amazing hands. And of course, you know, converting a Leech into anything reasonable is like one of the most insane things you can do in a game like this. But there is a world where people are just going to build to beat Leech, and then you end up investing in Leech and sitting there and being like, oh, that's not that good at all. I've played games where I had to choose between Leech and Jubilee, and I've chosen Jubilee because stats just mattered more than Leech's ability. I think people overrate how bad it feels when it happens to something that does matter and don't think enough about what happens when you run up against a deck where this card is absolutely nothing, because a 4-2 is extremely embarrassing. And even compared to Jubilee, if this ability does not matter, Jubilee is going to be better every single time because of the card that it gets you. Claw is a just phenomenal stat stick, and what you really want in this slot is just a stat stick that doesn't get leeched, right? Like you just want something that doesn't get leeched, and you want like a good card that is not leech food. And when you look at 5 drops, a lot of them are leech food. Annihilus, that's leech food. Cannonball, that's leech food. A lot of 5 drops are leech food right now, so you don't want to be leech food. You end up on Claw. That's just how it is, right? Like, we've had the attempts to hybridize the Darkhawk package into here. I have nothing against that. It gives you like a more plausible early game thing to try to do, but Claw's been just fine without any of the effort. And I think that that is a good spot for this deck to be in. I have no issues with running like Darkhawk package instead. I think that's pretty solid, but other than losing Claw, like that's actually kind of a legitimate loss. Now, one of the things you're going to want to do when you play Claw, or I should say, when you play Jubilee or Leech thinking you can draw Claw, is really make sure that you remember that it can turn into Claw when you play the card, because you have to keep that stuff in mind. If you start playing stuff on the right lane and you Claw and you like blink into a Claw, you're going to feel so dumb and you're going to lose so many cubes. Please don't do that to yourself. I have it on good authority that all that glitters is gold, and I think it was Blink that told me that Blink is able to turn your trash into treasure, Jubilee into Claw, Jubilee into Red Hulk, Jubilee into Magneto, and of course the same for Leech, and that's kind of the interaction this deck is built around. You are attempting to convert your little 4 that's like pretty good into something that's super busted. And doing that is your mid-range strategy. You can win games on points, you can win games with maneuverability, you can win games with Leech disruption backed up by points. It's just a strong thing to do. Now, this does leave you in a situation where you are, as a Blink deck, sort of unable to use several other interactive tools that are very powerful. You're not very good at being a Shang-Chi deck. You're not very good at being an Enchantress deck. It's possible you can do that stuff, but you're not very good at it. You typically want to have these 6 drops in your deck, and that means you're pretty often going to have a 6 drop in hand, and those 6 drops are pretty good. And those tech cards are very good at the end of the turn. at the end of the game. And so you end up just sort of sitting there staring at them and then staring at your Magneto and being like, why did I build my deck this way? And so Blink's restrictions are all sort of deck building requirements. She needs you to have targets in the deck to hit. And when you have targets in the deck to hit, she's obviously a great card, but she's sort of fundamentally limited in terms of points. Like, this deck is not putting 40 points in one lane in a realistic way. It's just not doing that. So if you run into something that is doing that, you better hope Leech is good into that thing. And if it's not, you're probably going to lose. Red Hulk is super big, and this goes out to all the people who said that Red Hulk's nerf would kill the card. This is probably still the best 6-drop in the game. Like, it's a very big guy. He gets anywhere from 13 to 21 in the average game. That's just kind of exactly what you're looking for. You can get him out early with Blink. Obviously, getting like plus 12 power on a Jubilee is completely bonkers, makes Blink into a 19 power play. Yeah, phenomenal, outstanding, cannot recommend highly enough. However, if you don't have him, yeah, you could play Dr. Doom. That's totally fine. You'll notice that the lack of Dr. Doom in here, I think the major thing that prompted that for me was feeling like 5 power just wasn't super meaningful. It was very often in this deck where I was like, you know what I'm really going to do is just really, I'm going to attack 2 locations, right? Like, I have the claw if I want to split my power up. I really just want my 6s to attack 2 locations. I want to go tall in a couple lanes. I want to have a Magneto and a Red Hulk. And the Doom just, like, it's a fine card, but, like, I did find that this combination of 6s was better, and that I preferred having the extra 2-drop to the Doom. And I think, you know, though there are different deck building decisions you can make that are going to give you a different result. I think that is totally acceptable. But for me, these are the 6-drops that I like. Obviously, if you don't have Red Hulk, he is totally replaceable with Dr. Doom. So I did pretty damn well with this deck. I climbed about 100 SP. I actually climbed more with this deck. I just lost some Sage games too. So, you know, this deck actually did more than 100 SP for me. I just then decided to give like 50 SP back, trying to figure out if Sage was good. Spoiler alert, I don't really think so. And yeah, this is a very, very, very good deck. I think it's very fair to describe it as like the meta tyrant. It's the thing people are afraid of. It's the thing people don't like. And I can very easily see a sort of triumvirate developing here. Biumvirate? Not really sure which one it's going to be. A two-umvirate, where it and Loki are sort of trading off, and then if Loki ever really gets a very high play rate, because Loki beats this deck pretty reasonably, you end up in a situation where the combo decks can work their way back into the meta, or maybe something like Cerebro 3, just things that beat Loki but aren't pretty good into this, and you end up with a metagame that actually starts moving. That is sort of my read on it right now, is I would expect this metagame to start with this in much the same way that last metagame started with Hope decks and then sort of evolved outwards from there. I do think Leech sort of restricts the pool of viable things that people can do because he feels so bad. And I do think it's a little bit awkward that we're in a situation that, like, okay, what are the cards that I see defining this metagame are Leech and Loki, which are just 2 cards a lot of people don't like, right? So there is definitely a little bit of just green guy fatigue. That said, for me, I actually think this metagame is pretty fun. Like, I have enjoyed playing like weird mid-range garbage. I have enjoyed playing Loki. I know, get mad at me, it's fine. I gotta tell you, maybe I'll get sick of it in a while. Maybe I'm just like, maybe I just like Marvel Snap, and I am bad at judging like specific metagames. And if I like try brewing, it'll get like really bad. But I gotta tell you, like, I don't really feel like it's all that bad in terms of how the games play out. There's very little like, oh, that happened, guess I died, except Loki, right? Like that is what it is, right? But yeah, I kind of think this is an interesting metagame that I'm excited to keep exploring. So stay tuned. As always, we're gonna put some gameplay on the end of this video. Remember to like and subscribe. I've been KM Best. I will see you in the next one. And yeah, I'm back home. Thank you so much for everyone who like reached out, making sure that I was doing okay. Yeah, I'm back home. I have a new computer because that also broke. Excellent. So if you notice any technical weirdness, please do let me know because I will need to fix it. I've been KM Best. You've been phenomenal. Enjoy the KM Boost, and let's get into the gameplay. That shit that we had from the Sarah we turn off the Angela, which means they'll end up with 6 total power there, and then we drop some more shit there, and we're just gonna be fine into a cannonball. We're just fine into a cannonball there. Know what I've been told I look like him. Interesting. Havoc outscales. It doesn't outscale Claw and Jeff, but, like, mostly it outscales. I think the 2 should be Medusa, honestly. I mean, like, we haven't done anything super cool with, what's his face? What's her face? Quake? We haven't done anything super ass, either. It's been, like, fine. This is the Hella Gamer. We are going to Leech into Blink. Oh. This is a Doc Ock Gamer. We are going to Leech into Blink. This is the Mr. Negative Gamer? Whoa, that's so scary. That is so scary. The fuck? My God. Now, you might say, but I actually think it's this. Drawing 1 card. They drew 1 card there. I mean, what's happening to us? I simply just don't know. I have no idea what's happening to us. I have no idea if we're fucked or not. I simply have no idea about anything. The Sage is left. That would be my expectation. If we Red Hulk, can we win that? Sage is like, what, 20? 1, 2, 4, 5, 14. One, 2, 4, 5, 14. Let's just assume she's 10 each time. 3, 12, 24. Yeah, so like... So what's the number? Not enough, buddy. Close, but no cigar. See, this is exactly the logic we were doing here, right? They're saging the left, so all we have to do is dump the Red Hulk there. See? Anyway, we would have lost if they Taskmastered the other lane, but whatever. A variety of just weird, total horseshit things. Next player up to bat after Quake. I really don't have any better options, right? They all suck, is the frustrating bit about it. They're all shitty. They're all booty ass cheeks. I see. That seems quite annihilus-y to me. Or, you know, any other deck that loses to Leech, right? Anything else that loses to Leech, you know? Unless they top deck the Annihilus, the unfortunate failure of Leech, right? Good win rate, low cube rate. That's our boy Leech. Oh, he of high win rate and low cube rate. Next player up to bat after Quake. That's just like, it's like Lizard or some shit. Like, it's so bad. It's such a dire situation. Armor? Sure. Yeah, or like Nico. Also sure. Here's the thing. That was such a suspicious last turn that I kind of want to, like, throw up a snipe shield and see what happens. Like, if they're gonna rope, like, way less on this turn? Would be my read? Look at that. Interesting. They definitely roped way less on that turn. Weird. Anyone else getting these weird orange lines all over this? Oh, man. Orange line gamers, it's crazy. Wait, are you serious, or are we doing the meme? God damn it. Are we serious now, or are we doing the meme? I, for one, welcome the orange line. Yeah, see, like, now, you theoretically just do not have the card Annihilus as a viable option, right? Theoretically. I'm going to have to assume that the card Annihilus does not exist as a viable option. If it does anyway, I'm fucking dead, right? Like, that's just kind of how it goes if that exists anyway as a viable option. But here's the thing, it totally fucking doesn't. Under no circumstances is that a real card. Oh, what the okay. Okay, I was about to lose my fucking mind, dude. I was about to lose my fucking mind. No. Jesus. Ah. There is a hand. There is a fucking hand in it. Oh, what does that mean? It probably means you're a deck that eats shit to... Oh. Okay, so you're like the Dark Hawk. Oh, jeez, what does that mean? I'm confused. You right or left-handed? None of your business. Oof. That ain't good. That's all right. That's all right. All right, now we just don't draw a Red Hulk. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Wait, we have a claw. We actually literally have a claw. We literally have the card claw. Holy fuck. We literally have the card claw. What if they have Jeff? Do they ever feel like they actually have to Jeff this? Because we have, like, we can just win the left lane and the right lane, right? I mean, I guess they had a Red Hulk in hand, right? Oh, but if they had a Red Hulk in hand, don't we just fucking lose? Don't we just fucking lose if they Red Hulk some shit? Oh, wait. Yeah. We just fucking die. They play Red Hulk mid. It is 17. Actually, they play Red Hulk left, right? They just play Red Hulk left. We can play to beat Red Hulk mid. Let's play to beat Red Hulk mid. Let's do that. Holy shit, we did it. We actually have the one play. This is the one play they can make that we actually beat. It's the one play they can make. Actually, Scorpion's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of think that's compelling to me. Ooh. Okay, neither of us drew cards. I don't know. Maybe we can, like, get them to fucking... Nope, we couldn't. Okay, fair enough. We tried. It didn't work. We tried. Okay, let's not draw Magneto. I see the claw, but I'm not sure we're winning a tiebreaker, you know? Oh, it's 8. Oh, shit. But they have a Jeff, right? They have a Jeff, right? This never works. What if it does work, though? This is important. Holy shit. What if it does work, though? Get clawed! We could, honestly, like, you could talk me into the fucking domino. I'm not gonna lie to you. You could probably talk me into the fucking domino. But also, like, look at how good this White Widow Nocturne shit is. Oh my god. Hit him with the White Widow. Hit him with the White Widow. It feels so good to have a play on two. It really does. That's bad. Have you run the numbers on Sage yet? No. I'll play her at some point. I'm sure, right? Here's the thing. I'm not sure that's bad enough for me that I do something about it. It might be worse for them. It might be worse for them than it is for me. The issue is... Could Psylocke be useful? She could. Magento pulls this, which always turns the Widow's thing on. So we're probably going for like a Magento far right here. This is a pretty scary spot. Like, if they have, like, Mysterio, shit that fills up the mirror dimension, we kind of just get got. But if we can pull this off, it's a winnable game. It's just, if they are full doing the thing I think they're doing, they're gonna be able to fill up mirror. And that leaves us dead. And your thoughts on Nebula? I don't have any better options, right? I'm into the Nebula, but I don't have any better options, right? Like, it's just, that just kind of is what it is. Bishop, Kitty, Havoc. Wait, we got there. Holy shit. Holy shit. It didn't even matter. That Jubilee, and they didn't really contest it. It was over. It was fucking over, dude. Claw is legitimately kind of carrying this piece of shit. It's actually funny how much that 2-power nerf Red Hulk. You mean not at all, right? Like, you mean it didn't hit it at all? That's what you mean by that? Yeah, I think that's good. Give Scorpion a whirl. I mean, we just had a good Quake game, right? Haha! Suck it! Probably fine. Isn't it the same nerf you wanted us to? Yeah, it's a good nerf. It was a smart thing to do. Hold on, I gotta turn the fan down. Ugh. I wanted them to do the claw thing. Yeah. Yes. Are they gonna reality the danger room? Hell yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. Ooh. That's kind of fascinating, isn't it? How am I handling this? Is Red Guardian Nebula better than Claw? I'd imagine it just... Oh, wait. This rocks. That's horrifying. I mean, do we just, like, roll the Blink Lotto here? We ordered it wrong, so it could be good, but it could also be bad. I'm just gonna roll the Lotto. I'm a Lotto roller here. Sure. Also sure. Don't I lose? Probably. Their Red Hulk is 13. They're probably putting Red Hulk in Crimson Cosmos, right? 4. I think I lose. I think I lose here. Claw and Nocturne mid. Oh, wait. That does kind of work. Sure. I can beat just this play, right? This is like the only play I can beat? Cool! So that is the only play I can ever beat, right? But we knew they had a Red Hulk, so it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, that is very specifically the only play I can beat. Hello. Okay, well, I guess I'm curving out this Quake. Unless there's a really compelling reason not to. I'm curving out this Quake. What about your glasses? I fucked up. My bad. My bad. I need to go get them. It's a good point. What does curving out mean? Playing cards on curve, generally, oh my god. Horrifying. Well, damn. Them not snapping that feels berserk a little bit. That's just a stats cannonball. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, no, that guy, that lady is not staying in the middle. Oh, interesting. It happened twice. Anyway, we got there. Better if it was a flat 12 Drake moment. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. Hello. If it was the Hulk, you wouldn't be able to move Jeff over and lost anyway? Oh, that's true. Wait, no, it's not. We had a guy there already. Goodbye, Angela. Goodbye, Cannonball. Love that for me. Alright, I just need to not draw a Red Hulk here, yeah? We're just not in the business of drawing Red Hulk. Why wouldn't they go on the Angela? Sniping? We drew Red Hulk. Fuck, are you serious? Still kind of winnable, actually. Local Red Hulk drawer. Disgusting. My least favorite location, indeed. Does anyone remember how big Kitty Pride was? I'm scared. Oh, damn it. Wait. Wait. They were too afraid of the danger room we got there. Somehow we pulled it out of there, chat. Those were actually, it had nothing to do with them being afraid of the danger room, for the record. They're out of cards in hand. So that was pretty, those were just the cards they had. But nothing that seems better than this. Games are going pretty well, Poop Dollar. Dude, are we about to quake this eternity range? Are we about to live the dream? Nope. Probably not. Maybe. I'm comfortable with that. Like, best case scenario is White Widow. Yeah, but we would totally play 2 White Widows, right? We would totally fucking do that. Hello. We would do that shit for sure. Have you done a strong guy cosplay? I haven't, actually. Dracula. What the fuck? The fuck? What is that? What is that? Wait. Wait, okay. Hold on. In case that is Jubilee. Okay, we're good. I'm terrified. I'm scared shitless here, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think things feel good. Oi. Let's find out. We lose. We are so dead. Oh! Oh my god! We won? We lost the Silk roll and won the Dracula roll. Oh my god.